Hello, everybody. My name is Jackson Sporter, and I'm joined by Samuel Baxton, like always. And welcome back to ESPORTS TEES. Today we have a special guest joining us. He's from Gamers VR, and from the Gamer Gang, it's the one, the only Benny Buckets.
Hello, everybody.
Anyways, guys, today we're going to be talking about some MLB stuff. And I don't know, Benny, if you know anything about the EMLB, but if you do,
Yes.
okay. Well, then we'll see. Anyway, let's talk about this ALCS matchup. On this side, you have the San Diego Vikings. And on this side, you have the Orlando Seamen. Both are two of the most hottest teams in this postseason. Amazing. And now, we're going to show you some highlights while we talk over it. So, anyway, let's get into the San Diego Vikings, then we'll go move on to the Orlando Seamen. Anyway, the San Diego Vikings have been dominant this season. They haven't lost a game. Well, actually, they did. They lost in the wild card round, but we don't talk about that. I'm sorry. But I just think they're a really good team. I mean, but the numbers they've been putting up, they have them. I think they have the most home runs, not the most home runs, the most runs in the entire postseason. And I'll be honest, I think they might be able to win this ALCS and possibly the World Series. So anyway, before we move on, down here, let's show our predictions. Now my predictions, I'm gonna go with the San Diego Vikings winning the series. Remember, guys, the series is 4-7. I think the San Diego Vikings win the series in 6 games. In 6 games, they win it 4-2. All right, Benny. What's your prediction? Remember, our predictions are down here, people. You want to know?
Yeah, I think Jackson. I think I'm gonna be going with yours for now, but
All right.
I
So he
may
also
change it
thinks.
later. Not sure.
All right. So he also thinks that the San Diego Vikings are going to win in 6 games. And finally, we have the man, the Orlando Seaman himself. I am not surprised of who you're going to go with in this ACL, and I can totally respect it. As an Orlando Seaman myself, well, then again, I did play for Cleveland for most of my career. So, yeah. So,
hmm
let's just hear it. Let's just hear your bold prediction.
All right. So, of course, I'm an Orlando Seaman fan. I mean, who could forget
Well,
what they've done?
You're not really an Orlando Seaman fan. You kind of played for
I
them,
I
from
did. I
2014 to 2022.
I did, but okay, but you still got to admit the Orlando
You're an
Seaman.
amazing batter.
Yeah.
You're probably the second best batter under me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you have more RBIs than me, but I have way more home runs than you. Anyway, so so what's your prediction for this ACL?
So yeah. I'm going to say Orlando. I mean,
And how many games? How many games? And how many games do you think we're gonna play in the series? You have to say Orlando and how many games. So,
I'm going to say probably about like 5.
oh, he says Orlando in 5. So let's go over the predictions. So my prediction, I said San Diego wins this in 6. He says San Diego wins this in 6, and he says Orlando wins in 5. Those are our final predictions. Okay, guys, and that was our predictions. Hey, stay tuned, because coming up after this commercial break, we're going to show you some Orlando Seaman highlights, and then we're going to talk about the hottest teams in the National Conference. We'll see you after these commercials. Well, well, well. It's that time again. The ALCS. We have Orlando and San Diego. One team looking for their second World Series, in 2 years, and another one looking for their first ever World Series. I know a thing or two about winning World Series. Just look at my history. But anyway, San Diego, Orlando, ACLs this year. It's on.
Hello everybody, it's AJ, and I'm here to talk to you about the Hall of Famer tournament that will be happening here soon at Woohoo Island. All the Hall of Famers from the Wii Sports tournament will be coming to Woohoo Island and playing all of the fan favorite sports to compete for the Hall of Famer trophy. And this will be the most exciting tournament ever.
I'm not in the Recverse anymore. Hi.
Featuring every single Hall of Famer there is, even the retired ones. We've got 2U's, DJ, Random, Fat Joe, Mike, Memon, Bemin, you name it, we have that Hall of Famer with us.
I'm excited.
And best of all, it's happening right here on ESPORTS TEES here, and it's coming up sooner than you think. So buy your tickets to see the Hall of Famer tournament happen here at Woohoo Island.
And you know who's about to win.
What? Who said you're gonna be winning?
Whatever.
The Hall of Famer tournament. Coming soon to ESPORTS TEES. Stream it whenever it's out. Coming soon. And buy your tickets while it's available to see it in person.
And you know who's about to win. Me. Always gonna be me. And we're back. Okay. Now, Orlando. As you can tell, they are the defending World Series champions. Here's the highlight of Game 5 from the last World Series where the Orlando won it. It was the Philadelphia Galaxies versus Orlando, so just roll the clip. That was unbelievable, you know? Unbelievable what Orlando did. Especially without you. I mean...
Alright, I see how it is.
I mean... This is the first Orlando win since... I think since you played on them. No, you did play another season, didn't you? Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
play
I
another
played the
before.
season after.
I retired in 2021. You retired in 2022. So yeah, that makes sense. But anyway, guys, here's some highlights from Orlando this postseason, and as you can see, they've been on fire. I mean. Though, then again, they did lose 7-2 against Chicago, but then they did have a bounce-back game and won. Barely, though.
Mm-hmm.
With the series on the line, Orlando almost went home early. But they didn't. Anyway, we're going to be shifting over to the National Conference. It's talking about the number 1 seed Denver Knights. Man... They just destroyed the Sacramento Barbarians in that series.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they completely sweep them.
All the rage
I mean,
right now is all about the Denver Knights currently.
Yes.
yeah, the Denver Knights have just been insane this postseason so far. I mean, that's how you prove that the 1 seed is worth it. Because look, we didn't expect Denver to do what they did. I mean, Denver just whooped him. And yeah, I mean, well, when we're looking at this footage here, it's just nonstop onslaught. And of course, only one game of the San Francisco and Oregon series has been played. Oregon's not been looking good. Oregon has not been looking good. Especially, so, Benny, Do you watch the EMLB?
Sort of. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I really watch it. I watched it before.
Okay, who is your favorite team in the EMLB? You're from Minnesota, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm just gonna predict that you're a Minnesota Bisons fan.
Oh yeah. Okay, that name went out of my mind. Yeah, I am.
There you go. Yeah, he's a Minnesota Bisons fan. And speaking of Minnesota Bison, they got swept in the wild card series by the Monarchs.
Yes, I know that.
They did not do good. And Minnesota is still since 2016 has been in the most. I mean, sorry, not the most. The best team on the road. I mean, I know you've had two heartbreaks in your life. You had the 2016 World Series where Minnesota lost in Game 7 to the Atlanta Eels, and then you had the 2022 World Series where you guys lost to Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very.
Uh-huh.
Orlando actually kind of sucked that season. I don't think. Did you guys even make the playoffs that season?
I don't think we did.
Oh yeah, you guys came last in your division. Yeah, you guys only won 60 games. No, sorry, 62 games. I'm sorry. But you guys lost 100. Then again, you were injured for like half the season, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I wasn't able to play.
And now let's talk about this Minnesota team. They were disappointing. Like, I expected better from Minnesota. So let's turn the clock back to 2016. So you had the 2015 Minnesota Bison. And they lost 112 games, only winning 50. Only winning 50 games. Minnesota was by far the worst team. But they had the great draft in 2016, and they signed a lot of key players. And in 2016, they won 137 games. And they only lost 25 times. 0 times in that entire season, including the playoffs and when they went to the World Series, did they lose a road game.
They crushed it.
Yeah. And of course, they obviously lost at home to the Atlanta Eels in Game 7 of the World Series, and they lost the World Series. And now, guys, before we end this segment, we're gonna say who we think our most disappointing team of this postseason is, and who our most exciting team of this postseason. It's gonna be me and Baxton here. Gonna say that. So I'll start. My most exciting team, and what I mean by most exciting, I mean the person who's been looking the best, and the person who I think is gonna make the World Series. I think it's the San Diego Vikings. I mean, just what they've been doing is insane. And most disappointing team, sorry, Manny, is the Minnesota Bison.
Well.
Anyway, moving on. Baxton, what do you think?
So yeah, I've got to agree with Sporter's decision on the most disappointing. Minnesota kind of just fell off. Now, the one that
I mean, they had a great season too.
Yeah,
They had a great season too.
they did play good,
Yeah,
but
they did. Yeah.
unfortunately, they fell a bit short. But the team, I think, my opinion, the one that plays pretty well, I'm not going to say the Orlando Seamen, but I'm going for Denver Knights.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Now, we're going to say our World Series predictions. And my World Series prediction is San Diego versus Denver. San Diego wins in 7.
Yeah, right.
What about you? What about you, Baxton?
Uh-huh. Now, of course, I like Orlando. I want Orlando to make it to the World Series. I'm going to say Orlando and Denver go face off each other. But I think the team that could possibly take it home could be Denver. That's just a prediction, though. So
And how many games? How many games? Come on.
I'm probably going to say 6.
All right, so he says Denver in 6. I say San Diego in 7. But now, Benny, who do you think is going to go to the World Series, and how many games do you think the team's going to win in?
Let's see. I'm gonna say actually I'm gonna go for Denver for about 5 to 6. 5 through 6. 5 through 6.
No. Who's the other opponent? Who's the opponent they beat in the World Series?
Oh, I think they're gonna beat the Vikings. I think the
Okay.
Vikings.
So our final predictions. I think we all picked the Denver Knights to make the World Series. We all picked them.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's the only one that said he's the only one that said Orlando was going to go to the World Series, and me and him both picked San Diego to go to the World Series, but he picked Denver to win. Actually, these two picked Denver to win, and I picked San Diego to win. I'm a huge San Diego believer. I think they're going to win the World Series. That's all for this segment. Thank you guys for watching. And oh, there goes our desk. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah,
Bye.
we'll need a new desk.
Yep.
We're going to need a new
This
desk.
studio's getting a bit
Yep.
old.
Yeah.
We're going to need a new studio soon.
Yeah.
We've got a new
Goodbye.
studio
Bye.
coming
This is
up
being
soon.
chaotic. Goodbye.
Oh,
Bye.
the
The cam point's gone.